A search is underway for a grade 5 student of the New Hope Primary School in Westmoreland who was washed out to sea this afternoon during inclement weather. RFM News understands that the boy was making his way home after school was dismissed at about 2:30 p.m. It's reported that he fell in a gutter and was washed out to sea. Residents and emergency responders have been searching for the child since. Member of Parliament for Eastern Westmoreland, Daniel Lawrence, is on location. He told RFM News that sadness hangs over the school as the search intensifies.
Well, the fire brigade is on location presently. I think they are doing their checks. I think the marine police is supposed to be on their way also. In the meantime, local residents in the sea comb in the area. But what's really happened is that there's a lot of rain. Even now we're still having rain, but it fell very hard earlier today. And it so happened that, the school is by the sea, and there's a large drain in front of the school. So it seems as if the student was trying to get home and fell into difficulty and was swept away by the strong current of the water. It's a lot of people here, and everybody's sad. You just imagine what is really happening. Crying all over.
Member of Parliament for Eastern Westmoreland, Daniel Lawrence.
A shower of rain provided much-needed assistance to firefighters on Monday as they battled a chain reaction of fires along Spanish Town Road in Kingston. The first fire started after a gas truck exploded in the vicinity of Riverton City Dump sometime after 11 a.m. Flames from the truck spread to a nearby street light, which also caught fire. Sparks from the burning post then fell onto a warehouse, igniting it as well. Shalois Michael visited the location.
It was a loud explosion that drew residents to the scene just in time to see a Fesco gas truck on fire. Residents say within minutes, flames from the truck trickled to a street light, which triggered the second blaze. They say the firefighters came and started tending to the two fires. But little did they know that sparks from the street light had fallen to the roof of AgriWorld Farm Store, a warehouse along the strip. One resident says it was others on location who alerted the firemen to the third fire.
We hear the first pop, we think it was a tire. Then we hear the second one. Then we heard person saying it's one of the Fesco gas truck them. When I came out here now and saw the whole thing, turned to one of the man them and tell them, say, the first building over there, so I catch a fire as well, but them never see. I saw comes now somebody that was standing next to me, run go tell one of the fire brigade, say, over there, so I catch a fire. By the time them for tell him that, building catch a fire. So I saw comes now them start hurry the pace for out it.
The fire from the warehouse triggered thick blankets of smoke engulfing the area. To fight the blaze, firefighters had to block a section of the road, resulting in traffic gridlock. Acting Assistant Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade Area 1, Leroy Orr, says the subsequent shower of rain was a tremendous help in putting out the blaze.
Very important that we got the showers because one of our things, apart from using foam, we also use water, and therefore the rain would have helped us in containing and also assist in cooling the fire, even the tanker itself, because we usually have water in the tanker, so that's the situation don't get larger, so the rain would have helped us in that instance. We have 6 units in total, 4 pumper, what we call fire unit, and 2 water tankers.
He says no civilian was injured.
We are now presently doing cooling down operation. We haven't established what has caused the fire as yet. Investigation will be done at a later date to establish that information. No reported civilian injury. Firefighters, we have a minor injuries, but it's something that we can take care of. No injury occurred to the driver of the truck.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
It took firefighters more than 3 hours to extinguish a massive blaze after a gas truck caught fire along Spanish Town Road in Kingston today. The fire spread to an adjoining warehouse. No injury was reported. The St. Andrews South Police advised members of the public earlier that a section of Spanish Town Road in the vicinity of 6 Miles and Weymouth Drive was blocked after the truck caught fire. Motorists were advised to use other routes where possible. Deputy Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Warren Malcolm, says a call was received about the fire at about 11:58 a.m. He said firefighters responded from 5 fire stations. Deputy Commissioner Malcolm said the fire was brought under control at 3:25 p.m.
At 11:58 a.m., Jamaica Fire Brigade received and responded to a call of fire at number 591 Spanish Town Road. Response was made from the Trench Town, Half a Tree, York Park, Spanish Town, and Portmore fire stations. A total of 4 pumpers and 2 tankers were in attendance. A total of 37 firefighters fought the blaze. On arrival, the fire was confined to a tanker on the roadway, conveying petroleum product, which spread to an adjoining warehouse at the front of the premises. 4 medium jets were brought into operations. Foam was also used to contain the blaze. At 3:25 p.m., fire was brought under control and subsequently extinguished.
Deputy Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Warren Malcolm. The public defender has launched an investigation into Jamaica's sexual offenders registry. Public Defender Carolyn Reed Cameron says the investigation will look into the operation and effectiveness of Jamaica's sexual offenders registry. The probe was launched based on Section 15 of the Public Defender Act and follows growing public concern about the registry's transparency, accessibility, and its ability to safeguard vulnerable groups, particularly women and children. Mrs. Reed Cameron emphasizes that the office has a duty to ensure that laws and public systems function as intended without infringing on the constitutional rights of Jamaicans. According to her, this is not just a review of procedures, but a holistic examination of how public safety tools must align with the Constitution. Access to the registry is limited to law enforcement, designated employers, and persons with a proven legitimate interest. The office reveals that recent tragic incidents have prompted renewed scrutiny of whether such restrictions are achieving the registry's intended purpose. Meantime, Public Relations Officer at the Office of the Public Defender, Shannon Bailey, says the investigation will focus on 3 core areas, including statutory compliance.
Statutory compliance, which looks at whether the registry has been implemented in accordance with the Sexual Offences Act, including resource allocation and procedural adherence. 2, operational effectiveness, whether the registry's access and usage protocols are successfully protecting children and other at-risk groups. 3, constitutional balance, whether the registry strikes an appropriate balance between individual privacy rights and the public's right to safety in line with the Charter of Fundamental Rights and freedoms. To guide its work, the office will look to 1, review documents from the Department of Correctional Services and the Ministry of Justice. 2, analyze statistical data on the registry's operation since its implementation in 2011. 3, engage stakeholders from law enforcement, child protection, and human rights sectors. 4, conduct comparative analysis with similar registries in other jurisdictions. And 5, undertake a constitutional review of the current framework.
Public Relations Officer at the Office of the Public Defender, Shannon Bailey. The Public Defender's Office says both the Commissioner of Corrections and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Justice have been formally notified and are expected to support the inquiry. The investigation has started and will culminate in a final report that will be tabled in Parliament and made available to the public, subject to appropriate redactions for confidentiality and security. Murders continue to decline. According to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, 322 people were murdered up to Saturday, June 21, 244 fewer than in the same period last year. There were 566 homicides as of June 21, 2024. The latest tally shows that the St. Andrews South Division had the highest number of murders with 43, followed by St. Catherine South with 30. Trelawney and St. Elizabeth had the least with 6. The JCF is also reporting that cases of rape declined by 62. Meanwhile, robberies went up by 9 and break-ins by 96.